Welcome to our olive tree, where we are going to begin an exploration of the ways in which Ignatian Spirituality helps us in the difficult task of making decisions. Today we are going to look at ways in which our moods can affect our decisions. You will remember that when we met the founder of Ignatian Spirituality, Saint Ignatius, we told the story of his reflecting on his daydreams and of the way he discovered that after he dreamed of great deeds and of the lady whose love he would win, he felt bored, empty and sad. But after dreaming about doing the saints, he felt happy, hopeful and encouraged. And he reflected on this difference and learnt the first lesson in what he would later call the discernment of spirits, which we might term distinguishing between our creative and our destructive inner moods and feelings. Gerard Hughes guides us a little more about these different moods and feelings. He describes them using the terms consolation and desolation. Inner moods and feelings, whether painful or pleasant, which are drawing us towards God, are called consolation, he writes. Painful moods and inner feelings which are drawing us away from God are called desolation. Now it makes sense that when we are looking at a beautiful scene and we feel peace or joy, this is consolation, as we are allowing ourselves to be blessed by God's creation. We might well wonder though, how a painful mood or inner feeling might be drawing us towards God, might be described as consolation. One example would be in the situation where someone we love is very ill or has died. We might well feel sad, but that sadness, that grief, is the truth of our situation, and God is always found in the truth. So experiencing that sadness might actually be consolation. Gerard Hughes continues, on other occasions we may experience anger, sadness and anxiety which enclose us more within ourselves, leading us into dark depths of self-sympathy, bitterness and alienation from ourselves, from everyone else and from God. In the technical language of spirituality, such feelings are called desolation, and they feel like it. So what have consolation and desolation to do with making decisions? Gerard Hughes describes a very important Ignatian principle. In desolation, we should never go back on a decision made in time of consolation, because the thoughts and the judgments that spring from desolation are the opposite of those which spring from consolation. It is, however, useful to act against desolation, so that if it is leading us to pray less, we might pray more. If it is leading us to be more enclosed on ourselves, we might go out more to others. And we should also examine the cause of our desolation. Desolation, being drawn away from God, is a difficult thing to ponder, though we might find ourselves experiencing it at this pandemic time. Remembering never to go back on a decision in time of desolation is actually a kind guide and helps us focus on finding ways to turn back to God. Next week, beside our olive tree, we will look more closely at how Ignatian Spirituality can guide us in times when we do need to make a decision.